Hello everybody, today is Saturday the 17th of January. It is 20 past 2 in the afternoon, and one of the things that stress me out from time to time is my bags. About 5 years ago, and I have a kind of bald spot here always. That's why I'm doing that a lot. I'm trying to cover it up. It's just those wearable one has, and there's just this wearable. Okay. About 5 years ago, I started those bags. I did film that. Those were one of the first vlogs I did. And they're still not finished. I didn't have the nerves for finishing them. So I will have to count them, do some bookkeeping about how many it is. I think it's about 70 bags I need to finish. And I'm gonna try to do that. So first I need to take out the machine, and then find my bag stuffs, and then get an overview where I'm standing at. There's different steps I'm making, how many there are, and then start sewing. Now I go hunting for my bag supplies, and I have everything under here, I think. So first I need, this one actually are buttons. I need those later on with a later step, so I'll leave it there. I need my sewing box with all my threads and stuff. So I have two of those very cool, cute cases, and I got those. And then I need to find my bags. Again, they're thinking about taking that. Both of those things are also for bag things. Also the eyelets and stuff. And in here are the small bags, I think, and the big bags. And then there's a whole other box. Not that. That is the crochet animals. Everything is a bit in the way. And I also have to be bent over under the bed. And this box is very, very heavy. That is where all the rest of it is. Baby. And more things behind the door, all the straps and some of the big bags. And I'm so glad when that is not there anymore. Every time when I move the door, those straps are just making sounds. So I got my stuff here. Also found this bag in my cupboard. There are a few already started ones, kind of finished, except for attaching the bundle. Did I just do that? And in here is my list. The strap. And here I have my where I wrote everything down. That's Tashley Lichte bag list. So summer 2017. No, I finished those. I think those are all finished, and they're all gone. And those are the, are they? Summer 2019-2020. Okay. I think those. I got small bags, and I have even sold one. Oh, interesting. I don't know. They're not labeled. Oh, they are klein und groß. Also small ones, 20, 21, 24. And groß, big ones, 21, 48, 57. And some are already gone. Tina, Darla got one. So 58, 57. Did I say 58? 57 plus 24, 61. It's 81 all in all, but I have finished a few. And this is, you can see, so this is a bag. This is the outer color. This is over here, the Grundfarbe, the main color. Then I have an Innenfarbe color on the inside, that is this one, because I wrote it all down to have them, to have used all of my material, and there's not two of the same. This is the Innenfarbe, inner color. Then I have an Innenfach klein, an inner compartment small. Those are for cards and stuffs. And I have the Innenfach groß, inner compartment big. This one. And now I see that I'm not finished because I'm gonna have to put buttons on here to close that off. And for the steps, that's what I need to figure out too. I think I have sewn all of that on. Those are two different layers because this by itself is too weak. This is more like a tablecloth, and this is more like sturdier. So I had to cover this with that if I wanted to have colorful bags. So that step is done. I think I got stuck at sewing on all my Velcro. And with some, I've started to sew on the inner things. So all those, and then will be this one, and then sew it together and put the buttons, attach the strap, and then I will be done. And this is what I'm trying to figure out where I stand. So here in the one box, I have this helper tool for putting the Velcro on. I have all my Velcros are kind of cut. I don't know. So that's all the Velcros for the big ones. This is ein Schnittmuster, a pattern. Then I have those inner bags, and they're always with the other one too. So they also, I numbered them, so I don't have to look at my list. And also my bag has a number on it. And those are all the big ones, all of them. Okay. So here's one of the bigger bags. Same principle. And now I have seen that of all those Velcro things. So this should be the length of the flap up there. And then I put the other part on it. So this is each a bag. You can see this is a bag, this is a bag, this is a bag. And so one part is up there, and the other one, if I cut that apart with those pieces and make them smaller, that all fits on one of those strips. So I need to figure it out again because I forgot. And also that cardboard is not for this one, it's for the small ones. Because I need some helping tools to make those steps a bit easier, because I really hate those steps. Those are hard. I prefer the last step where I just can sew it together because it's clear which line goes where. And when I have to aim and measure, I'm not a fan of measuring. I always do it so close as possible, but never perfect. Okay, that is the big bags. I need to find the small ones. Well, they're not in here. Those are bags. They're just, again, the inner and outer are together, and that is it. Just in bundles, all the big ones. It is heavy. They're are they smaller? Oh, there's some big ones. More big ones, and I think that's also big. Yeah. And here are my small ones. Yay. Okay, I'm a bit further with those. I have sewn on the Velcro, the inner bag. This is also a hard step because I don't want this to get so wrinkled. And this too, wow, oh cool. So I only have to attach this one, close it up, and be done with the most annoying steps. Okay, I had it like, this is why I have such a hard time to go on. When I sew those things on, it gets all wrinkly with this other stuffs. And I've never done that like that. Also, it wasn't good for them to be in there for that long. Okay, and that should, oh look. That is really, that's the next one. Here's one that's already sewn on. So this one I only have to close up and yay. So I'm gonna start with those, finish those, and then go on with the big ones. And even behind my door, well, here are all the straps, and here are more hanging around. And some have Velcro on it already, but many don't. And there's the number. So I see the number. Because now, oh, maybe those have that part on. This is heavy too. Okay. Yeah, well, not many are far. So this one has all of it on already, I think, with that. So I can close that up too. But most of them don't have that. Oh, just that one. And again, those are all my straps. Those with one whole eyelet are for my small bags, and the others with two are for my bigger bags. It's the first time I'm making those bigger ones, and it's gotta be the last time. Okay, but with the small ones, I might be able to get those done quite quickly. Nothing goes quick, but I want to finish them. And the problem is, though, I'm glad when they're done because I want to finish them. I don't feel like it though, but it's so much material and things, and I couldn't throw it out. And I don't think somebody else would want to do that. So I have to finish that. And the last time I did have about 300 of the small bags, which I made throughout the years when I felt bad. That was my therapeutic work, labor. And last year or the year before, I found what's it called? Help organization, Caritas, who were happy to accept that as a spende. And I could send them my 200, 300 bags, very colorful. And maybe I do that with those too, because they're going to blow up in volume and they're going to use up more space. And I'm not good at selling stuff. So I don't get rid of it, so I can donate it. The word is donation. Okay, so that is that. And now I start sewing a bit. It was very, very hard to get started. So I'm glad I got the machine out and everything. Now I'm grabbing a bag and try to just get into the thing again. So I found a little paper with some measurements that is for the stitch length. I said 3 on there, but 4 might be good too. And the width of those stitches, which is the uppermost wheel, is 0 because it's not a zigzag, it's just a straight line. Then I have to find my first under thread. I always have to switch the colors. This is the main color of the outside of the bag. I do have to sew on the inside because I need to see the line that I need to see where I'm stitching, and I'm stitching on the inner bag, so I need to see the inner bag. Even though the upper line that my sewing machine does is way nicer. This is actually a nice clickety-clack of the machine, I think. Yeah, it's a pity that I cannot sew it on from the outside. So here I close up. You have to put the thread behind that little bar. And then there's also that thing, it's like a half circle. You have to put it in there and then through the needle, just in case you've never done that. I don't know if that's helpful. And then I have the capsule, and it needs to go so it unwinds on the top to the right. It's in what side goes in with the clock, not against the clock, I think. And then put that in, then hold the upper thread a bit, courble the needle through, and then it picks up the under thread and you can just fiddle it out. And now it's gonna be a face of yay. So not looking forward to it. I take another break before I get started because I can't get me to do it. And then finally I start tackling that mountain of work. And I also see that I don't have my helper lines on it. Oh no, I still have to check how I did it with the other ones. How far up I have to sew it on. Because it's all handgelenk P, wrist times pi. Just circa, not entirely, not precise. I'm missing the right words here in English. I would have them even en français. Environnement, ungefähr. That means, yeah. I'm missing all my words. Just as close as it can be. And I cannot stitch on, I cannot use needles to put the stuff I want to put on and stick them on beforehand. I don't have the vocabulary for sewing. So I have to just hold it in place and hope for the best, and yeah, use my fingers as clamps. Sometimes I use pegs and things, not pins, but what are they called? The clothes that you put them on the Wäscheleine, on the washing lines. Pins? Pegs? Yeah, those I can use sometimes, but only when it's at the edge of something. So this is the first line done. Very happy, and looks alright. It feels so bad when I do it because it's very hard with the fabric. You have to pull and push it through. Otherwise, you just stitch on the same spot. Here, I'm folding it. Later on, I'm gonna take a pen and just draw my helper lines in. This is a new version of my bag, so I have my helper lines on the other side of that fabric, but I need it on this one too, because I need to see where I have to sew it on. So I just folded it, and I see where the bend will be, and this is gonna go right next to the bend. And then I just try to hold it in place there, and don't lose it, which always happens. Get it under, yeah, get the foot down, and then you need to hold the threads a bit and do a few stitches. Also with a wheel isn't bad, the first few stitches, and then I go front and back and front to make sure it holds. In the end, I also make a knot, which is a bit redundant, a bit overkill, because by doing the front sewing, you kind of secure that the thread will hold because you sew over it again. There again, it's front, and then I have to lift that wheel back, and then here, my needle broke, which rarely happens too, and it wasn't even that thick. Sometimes when the fabric's very thick, it breaks, but of course now it broke. And of course, it really doesn't happen a lot. There is also a little knife on the back of the foot of the thingy, so I can cut my threads right on that thing. Then I had to find my needles. I found them. Here I thought I only have one left, but I do have a whole other package, so I'm good with needles. And then I needed to find the screwdriver. This is the wrong one. There's a better one, but this one worked too. I found the other one later on. You loosen that screw, then you can take out the needle. It is funny, this needle didn't break entirely. You see, it's still attached, didn't splinter off, but it just got bent somehow.
Okay,
and then
the flat part. Here's the flat part that goes to the back.
Yeah, you put it in like this, and then you tighten the screw again, and then you have switched your needle.
Screw it on. And then switch the needle. This. Okay. That was the last one. Let's see.
And it really has been a while since I've last sewn. I wonder why my needle is not in the middle of the foot. And then I figured out it is that upper wheel, the upper part of the upper wheel. And you can see the needle move around now. Right, left. So I'm done with the first thing. You can see my lines are never entirely straight. They're not that pretty, but they're always double, so it really holds because they can rip apart. It's different than sewing fabric, and it's also very hard. You always have to push it through because this is more sticky and it doesn't go through by itself. So I always have to pull it through and push it through. When you pull too much, the stitches get too big. When you don't, you stitch on the same spot again. And it's very hard. Okay. I'll still have to do those. I don't remember. I think I do that right away. Yeah. But yeah, that is one step. This is a close-up of how to get the threads on one side to knot them together. I do like that sound a lot when this little loop from the outer thread goes through. And to do that, you need to pull on the one thread, not too hard and not too little. So when you do it too hard, you're going to rip it off, and too little, you won't get it through. I think it's different. With fabric, it's a bit easier. Here, sometimes it's really jammed in the plastic, and then you can rip off the thread. That can also happen with fabric. And wait for the pop. There. So the next one is actually jammed, so I have to cut it off. But it's fine because I already did the to and fro and to sewing, and that's why I wouldn't even need to do that step. I'm still going to do it, but or maybe not. I don't know. It's now 10 to midnight, and I am finishing for today. I didn't work all the time now. I just sat back down 20 minutes ago and did some more. I actually sewed this one together entirely because I didn't have to switch the color. I had purple and purple on it already, and then I can just finishing it up. Now the turning it around is also very hard. Do that later. And those are the ones I did. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Unless one was already, I don't remember. And those are still to go. Another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or something. Yeah, and I always have to switch the thread. So this one is more annoying to switch. So I try to have those in a row. Like when I switch to this color, the next one will be the same. And I just have to switch the bottom color. This might not be that interesting, but that's stuff I thought about a lot. And at some point, I just used black or white for everything because that works kind of too. But now I'm always switching the colors, but trying to make it a bit easier on myself. Yeah. I wish you a lovely night. See you tomorrow. Well, that was a lie. It's already Tuesday. So there was not tomorrow nor the day after tomorrow. It's the day after that. And I have finished a few bags. I have gone a bit further with preparing my bigger bags. But I will show that to you in the next vlog. Also saw my very first vlog I did, which is now a re-upload of 2020, is working on my bags. And then there's more. I think the 3rd or the 5th vlog is about that too. They're very slow, those videos, but it's kind of fun for me to go back and look at that. And now I'm on the way to the doctor. I need to go to the dermatologist, I think, because I got some stuff with my toenails and I need to go for a checkup. And now I want to thank you very much for watching and see you in the next one.